Hello and welcome to the MSTieCast. I'm your host, Toby Mobius. Joining me on this episode is Mr. Justin Toner.
Hi, how you doing?
And as I pointed out last time, this time on the MSTieCast we are going to discuss the best episodes for beginners getting into Mystery Science Theater 3000. The thing about the show is there's so many episodes, and everyone has a different opinion on which episodes are best to get into. So I just thought Justin and I would pick a few of our own, say 5, and discuss why we think they are best to get someone into Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, this one is a debate that's been going on for a long time. I mean, because people, I've seen it all the times. Every once in a while, someone will come and say, like, hey, what episodes do you think would be good one to try to get someone interested in the show? And everyone has different opinions, and so this is just we're going to throw out some of our picks, the ones that we feel that are good, not only good representations of what the show is about, but that they're funny, and that we think that the riffing's good enough that people will kind of understand the comedy style of the show, and stuff that's not too complex either, and so they can just soak it in and then decide if they kind of get it or not. Because like I've said before, it took me a couple episodes before I finally got the show. It's like, but there's one, the first one I ever saw, which is one of the ones I'll talk about later. It drew me in initially, and like, okay, this is different. So this way people can think about choices they want to do, because that's the fun thing about Mystery Science Theater, is being able to share with other people that may not be familiar with it and see if they like it or not. Because it's always fun to be able to watch episodes as a group with friends.
Right, it is a very good social show, I guess is the word.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and go first?
Yeah, sure. Okay. I'll start with my first choice is the first episode I ever watched from season 5, Iga. First episode I ever saw of the show. I think it's a good one because not only is the riffing very funny, but it's a goofy movie with a goofy premise. People who are filming up the movies will recognize Richard Kiel, Jaws, and it's just, and the comedy, a lot of the host segments are pretty funny too. You've got Archie Hall Jr. and his singing, and the great watch out for snake stuff. The episode's just got a little bit of everything for me. It kind of like, it's a really good gel of an episode, and I wanted to go with that because I wanted to start at least with a Joel first. It's like, because I know some people may pick more Mike episodes than Joel episodes, or vice versa. So, but this is the one that really initially drew me into the show, because I remember laughing pretty good at a lot of the jokes. Even though I still didn't understand exactly what the show was about, I was laughing. So that one's always had a special place for me. I think it's a good choice to show to somebody and see if they like the show or not.
Okay, very good pick. I think I'm gonna go with a Mike episode since you picked a Joel, and I'm going with Werewolf from season 9, I believe.
Yep.
Yes. First appearance of our very good friend Joe Estevez, Charlie Sheen's uncle. For those of you who haven't listened to our previous episodes or have never seen the episode, just a very funny movie. It's goofy. It's low budget schlock. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like it seems like a movie that just kind of got ripped apart in editing.
Yeah.
Whether it was just MST3K or was the way the movie itself is. I've never seen it unriffed. I kind of want to, though. I do kind of want to see it unriffed just to see what MST3K did with it, because they have been known to heavily edit some episodes.
I've heard people mention about some of the stuff that they had to cut out, to fit it into the show's time frame.
Either into the time frame or for content.
Yeah. I think mostly for, I can't remember, maybe a little bit of both.
But Werewolf is just kind of a perfect episode to me. It's got great host segments, great opening, great riffs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could literally watch that episode every day and never get sick of it. And I like to put it on in the background when I'm working on something because I've seen it so many times that I know what's coming. So if I miss something, it's not the end of the world. But
Mm-hmm.
I found it's a really good episode to get someone into the show just because it's so bizarre and the effects are just awful.
Oh yeah.
It really kind of is the perfect representation of what MST3K does,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the host segments. Blank's younger brother and stuff like that. Who would you want in your werewolf movie? And the
Mm-hmm.
Werecrow.
Yep.
Just great segments, and it carries over into the theater, and it really does exemplify what MST3K is to me.
Yeah, I agree, and that's one of my choices too. It's like I would not hesitate to use werewolf to introduce somebody to the show. It's the movie. Yeah, you're right. It's a perfect representation of the kind of stuff that that they wanted to riff on because it's a movie. It's obviously they're trying to make a serious horror movie, but it's so low budget and so incompetently made that it's you can laugh at it just on its own, and then they come up with such wonderfully dead on target jokes for the stuff that's in the movie. It's just like the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, I was laughing so hard and so often. And it's one of my all time favorites. Like it's top 5 for me too, and it's like. And then the whole segments too are a lot of fun, and like the ones you said. And the other one I love is the good song too for that episode. The where a werewolf song. Where they're all dressed up like they're like a girl right out of the 50s. Say where a werewolf.
Yeah, we've come to the conclusion: dim bones, dim dry bones, sir.
Yep. It's one of I consider it an MST3K masterpiece. It's just like everything just comes together perfectly. It's the right kind of movie, great riffing, very funny whole segments. It's a good one, and I'd be shocked if someone like watched that one for the first time and they weren't laughing. It's just such a goofy, messed up movie. It's like between the characters and the such like continuity errors, like the stuff with Yuri's hair, which they do great jokes because his hairstyle seems to change multiple times throughout the movie, or in hair color too. It's like the continuity was not an important thing on this movie apparently.
It's absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and name off your next choice?
My next choice, a lot of people would pick this one, and it's an obvious pick, but it's obvious for a reason. And I'm gonna go with Space Mutiny. Space Mutiny is just the same reason as Werewolf. It's just the movie it's just right for MST3K. It's an completely made sci-fi movie, and you not only that, but you have you got Red Brown in it, and his whole thing, and just the riffing in that one is just also it's just like dead on target all the time. All the nicknames they come up with for Red Brown always leaves me gasping for air. It's like amazing how they came up with all these beefy nicknames for him. They rattle off
Blast Hard Cheese,
Blast Hard Cheese, Buff,
Punch Rock Fist, Bob Johnson,
and
sort of on topic. There was going around Tumblr back when Pacific Rim came out. People made their own Jaegers on this application, and everyone named theirs after like Blast Hard Cheese and Punch Rock Fist. It was great.
We put our faith in Blast Hard Cheese, and this is another one of those the low budget incompetence, like the one crew member female gets killed, but then she's on the bridge a few scenes later still alive. Which is one of my favorite riffs for Crows. Like, I was very nice of you to give that dead girl another chance, sir. Stuff like that. And I know some people aren't very fond of the Roman Times whole segments in that batch of episodes, but there's still some funny stuff in there. I mean, I like the whole segment where Servo and Crow are in their little spaceships having like a, space battle against each other, trying to kill each other, while Mike's trying to relax, have some tea, and read a book instead. And he's and they're explosions, and they crash into the satellite love, and I always thought it was hilarious. And uh,
It's a good episode.
yeah, it's just in general, it's just a fantastic episode, very funny, and very relatable. And I mean, especially people, it's like, thanks to like people like Spoonie, a lot more people have become know more about, Red Brown and his movies. It's kind of like spread all over the internet. So anybody who's sort of familiar with who Red Brown is, they'll immediately get a kick out of watching this.
Yeah, Conan O'Brien loves making Red Brown as Captain America jokes. It's weird.
Oh yeah.
there was like a solid 3 months where they built up the premiere of Captain America. They would show clips from the Red Brown version.
Oh wow.
and then I believe they actually had Chris Evans on to talk about the movie, and they showed a clip from that again.
That's great.
I love Conan. I'm gonna go ahead and go with my next pick. It's a Joel episode, Warrior of the Lost World. Season 5 in general is really just a great gateway season for MST. You can't really go wrong with a single episode of the bunch.
Yeah, the season 5 in general, there's only like a few episodes from that season that I'm not too fond of. It's a lot of good to great episodes are in season 5. It's like on both sides, both Joel in the first half, and then after he leaves, the Mike half Mike starts off with some really great ones too, and when he started taking over.
Warrior to me it's very accessible of a movie. It's got great riffs, some great physical humor. The host segments are just wonderful. With like the skit about Warrior of the Lost World before he got his driver's license.
Oh, I love that one. I love that.
Crow is his mom.
Mm-hmm. Joel
has like that stuff in his mouth.
I can go save the world.
You will do nothing of the kind, young man. It's just a great riff. It's a great episode.
Mm-hmm.
There really isn't too much to say about it. It's got recognizable faces in the film: Pierce Gambetta and Donald Pleasance,
and Fred Williamson too.
Fred Williamson, if you know someone who's into Mad Max, or especially with the game coming out pretty soon, this would be a good way to get them into the show, because it's like, hey, it's like Mad Max, but it's really dumb and there are people talking over it, but it's really funny.
Yeah, anyone's a fan of like that kind of stuff, or any kind of like, Road Warrior, Mad Max ripoffs, post-apocalyptic stuff, they'll get a kick out of this movie. And
someone who's really into Fallout.
Yeah, this one has really grown on me over time. It's definitely become a favorite of mine too. I love the riffing on it, and it's like, it's like, I said, any fruit to declare, and it's just seeing they got the recognizable actors, it helps, and they make good riffing off of that, and the whole segments are fun. It's just a generally an enjoyable episode for me, and I definitely think, it's definitely one I'd probably use too myself. I agree.
And of course, Mega Weapon.
Oh yeah, I love at the end when they make a phone call to Mega Weapon, tell him how awesome he is.
That's always great. Mike really had a lot of fun with those character pieces, it seems.
Oh yeah.
And I'm glad they were able to keep him doing it after he had assumed host duties too.
Mm-hmm.
So, go ahead and do your pick.
I'm gonna go back a little bit earlier into the show. First episode of season 3, Cave Dwellers. I think not only is it's not just a good representation of MST3K, but it's a very good pivotal point episode in the show where it's like stuff really started to gel for them, as far as just like being able to take a really goofy movie, make good riffs, good host segments. It all comes together in that one. You got, Ator, very obvious Conan ripoff movie. Very goofy, low budget. I mean, at one point, it's like, they have to fight invisible enemies. It's like, and the riffing on that one is just so good. There's so many great riffs on that one. I love it. It helps. It also has the nice hot chick, and and stuff like that, and well, so many good host segments. The one where they make fun of the film Ventures opening credit sequence just kills me every time. It's such a brilliant sketch. Oh God, and it's like oh, it comes Speed guy. Boy, does he have a package? How much, Keith? Miles O'Keefe. They have. I mean, it's like they have so much fun with the guy. It's like it's a lot like with what they did with Red Brown and Space Mooney, where they're just having fun with this very muscular hero. Although he's not stupid. He's actually supposed to be very intelligent, a hero. And I think it's just it's a wonderful episode, and I would think it would be a good one to show to people. It's like anybody who's had any kind of familiarity with like Arnold Schwarzenegger's Conan and stuff, they'll get a kick out of this low budget knockoff, and the riffing is a lot of fun. It all comes together. I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay, Cave Dwellers, I haven't seen it in so long that it's kind of hard for me to judge, but from when I did see it back when I was going on a MST3K bitch, I really did enjoy it. It is a very fun episode. Great riffs, great host segments that I remember. I need to actually watch it again to have a better representation of it, but I liked it. Good choice. My next one, I'm going with MST3K the movie.
Oh, okay.
Now, because of its length, because of the fact that, Dr. F explains the premise in the intro, and the fact that it has a higher budget than the rest of the series, it is a lot more accessible to most people, I think, than the rest of the show. There are a couple problems with it, namely the lull in jokes about, like, the 5-minute mark.
Yeah.
And there's one less toast segment than usual. But otherwise, I think it's pretty okay. I think it's a great way to get someone into the show.
Sorry, I had to do that.
I don't even know what that was.
That's from it's from that one host segment. You're naughty boy.
Oh, Dr. F.
Oh yeah, I know.
But it really is a great way to get someone into the show. It's in color. Like I said, It's not as long as other episodes. It's only about 70 minutes, so it's a pretty brisk watch. I'm actually going to be showing it to some people very, very soon who have never seen MST3K, and I'm also showing them some riff tracks as well.
Nice.
So, that and riff tracks, a good way to get someone into the series, maybe?
Yeah.
Just saying. As well, it's really funny.
Yeah. I think that's a good choice. I mean, it's definitely a good one because, like, Dr. F explains, like you said, he explains the premise of the show because they did that on purpose, since this was in theaters to try to get more people who weren't familiar with it, and it's got good. The riffing is good. It's like people may, it's cut in, the movie's in color. It's kind of a well-known movie. Fun host segments. Even though it is shorter than a regular episode, it's got some good stuff. I mean, like, I still love the normal view. That's such a great moment. Not gonna go any further. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched that one yet. And the nice thing about it is, Shout is in September is going to be re-releasing it on Blu-ray DVD combo pack with lots of great features and everything. So that's coming right out. So that's a perfect thing to get your hands on and get into the show.
All right. So your next pick.
For my next pick, I think I'm going to go with maybe something a little more obscure episode for some people, but once you've been into the show enough, you'll know it. I think I'll go with Attack of the Eye Creatures, or Attack of the Eye Creatures, as as it's more well known. Uh, is such one of the most horribly incompetent movies that they ever did, which they wonderfully make fun of. I mean, especially how like it's nighttime scenes are obviously being filmed during the day, with trying to tint the camera to make it look like it's dark, and it doesn't really work. You got people, the zippers on the alien monster suits are visible. Some of the monsters, you can see they have sneakers on their feet. It's like it's just such an absolute train wreck. And the riffing on that one is so much fun, and it's also good skull segments, especially at the end where they just point out all the terrible, laziness and continuity errors that it's like they just didn't care. It's such a wonderful catchphrase that for the show. It's like they just didn't care. I really like that episode a lot. Still keeping my fingers crossed it'll eventually become more widely available on DVD. Who knows? But it's between the movie and the riffing. It's another good one. It's like this is why they do what they do. Just look at this movie. Just look at how horrible this movie is. and they make really good jokes off of it.
All right, good choice. Good choice. Again, another episode I haven't seen in a very, very long time. Back when I had homebrew on my Wii, I could tap into a shoutcast stream of someone showing MST3K like 24 hours a day, and I caught it on there one night. It was very late. It was very tired. So I don't remember it too much, but I liked what I saw. I need to watch it again though, because again I was very tired. I was very sleepy, so I don't remember too much of it. So I can't say too much more on it, but good. I think that was a good pick.
I think so.
My next one, going with another Mike, which counterpoint to something we discussed over the show. This is the first Mike episode. This is the Brain That Wouldn't Die, and
okay.
I think that's a good way to get someone into the show. You don't really have to worry too much about the Joel era stuff coming in. There's the Invention Exchange like usual, which got gradually phased out. There's great riffs. It's in black and white, but I think someone who might like MST3K is like they'll be able to handle that more than like your friends, the kind of people that you think would like MST3K. You could probably gauge whether or not they could handle a black and white movie. Because some people just can't. Some people just it bores them. But this one is just so odd and just strange, and with the riffs, someone should be able to handle it just fine. Great host segments. The one where Mike is trying to like fix the ship, or I forget exactly what he's doing down there. What is he doing? I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it.
I think he was trying. I think it was an escape attempt.
That was it. Yeah, he tried to like burrow through the ship, and again, Crow tried that, and Breach Hall, I'll die. Even had it underlined.
Yep.
So it's a very good episode, and Mike just really nails the hosting.
Yeah, Mike's first episode, he comes out of the gate swinging. It's a good episode. Very funny stuff. I mean, the whole ridiculous of the head in the pan. I mean, they have so much fun with Jan in the Pan. It's like, how is she breathe? It's like, she's got neck juice. Oh, okay. The neck juice.
In the ending where Jan in the Pan is on, the view screen is really great.
Yeah, Mary Jo is really fun as Jan in the Pan.
It's just a really good episode.
I love my favorites. I knew that it really shows how Mike is really gets in the groove right away when in the scene where after the accident and the doctor's running back home with Jan's head, and he's got it under his arm like a football, and Mike acts like he's announcing a football game. He says the 40, the 30, the 10, he can go all the way, touchdown! It was like it just cracked me up. I was like, that was just perfect.
He comes out swinging and he gets a technical knockout in the first round. So good job, guys.
Yep.
All right, your next pick.
My final pick. Let's see. I think I'll go with one more Mike one. Since you already did Werewolf, and I agree with you, Werewolf, I'll go with another Mike one that I think is really awesome. I'm trying to think. How about we go with Girl in Go Boots?
Okay.
I think it's a little bit, it's a color movie, and also it's not in the the sci-fi or fantasy genre, which a lot of their movies are, and it's really just a fun piece of 70s cheese. It's like the riffing is just outstanding on that episode. The whole segments are hilarious. Where Mike gets to sing, which he likes to do, and where he's making fun of the main character in the movie about how he's like singing to the girl in the movie, the girl in Go Boots, and interrupted by Crow constantly like, "There's a fire, we're all gonna die," and then Crow trying his hand at being a go-go dancer and disturbing Mike to no end, and then Brain Guy does the same thing later on. I mean, you got fun, stupid, sleazy characters, great lines. It's like, I had such a pretty mind. I'm an icky elf, and then the teleportation scene. I love that even in the final season, because this was from season 10, the final season. It's like they were still just being able to produce such great episodes like Girl and Go Boots. It's like, it wasn't like that they were running out of steam. They were still just, even in the final season, they were still chugging out good to great stuff. And Girl and Go Boots represents that. It's just a fun one. I think people would like that one because it's a little different movie than they normally did, especially in the sci-fi years. It's like, because they were mostly stuck to doing sci-fi and fantasy, so it's like what they were able to do, like in the last season, they were able to have sci-fi give them a little bit of a break so they could do something different. And so it reminded me a lot of the stuff from like seasons 4, 5, and 6, those kind of movies. And I think people would really like it. It has just a little bit of everything, in my opinion.
All right. I actually have not seen this episode. I really should watch it. I keep meaning to. I started to watch it, and then we had to do a show or something. I can't remember why I stopped watching it, but I really should go back to it because it sounds like a great episode.
Oh yeah, this is one that everyone should check out. It's a really good one.
My final pick is actually two, but they're lumped into the same category, and they are the Christmas movies featured on MST3K.
Excellent.
Great for either Christmas in July, which it's almost out of time on that.
Mm-hmm.
By the time this airs, it will be out of time on that, but it's kind of perfect for year round as well. It's just both episodes are just so delightfully nutty and weird that you can pretty much watch them anytime. Santa Claus, I think, in particular, just because it's so bizarre.
Yeah, it's so bizarre and goofy.
It's like if David Lynch made a kids movie.
Yeah, the goofiness and the bizarreness of Conquers the Martians makes it a fun one to. I wish I had thought of that one. That Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is a really good choice for an intro episode. This is got great. It's like the movie is just leaves you going, huh? And the riffing is good, and then you got wonderful host segments and Santa Claus Carpenter of Martians. I mean, you can't just beat Crow's Patrick Swayze Christmas song. It's one of the best songs they ever came up with.
Yeah, but of course Santa Claus has Mike and Crow.
Merry Christmas, if that's okay.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, that's okay. Plus like the Rock.
Yeah, Santa Claus with a K,
which I thought was really great.
Yeah, I like that.
And Frank and Dr. F get so into it.
Yeah, they pull out lighters like they're at like a rock concert.
Right. It's just they're just wonderful episodes for any time of year.
Oh yeah, and Santa Claus 2 is like just it's like it's Bizarro Land.
Yeah, that's the one I meant. Is like David Lynch, because it's got like the weird shots and the creepy puppets and
yeah, the laughing mechanical reindeer. Santa lives up in the clouds. Merlin is his best friend.
He's got that telescope.
Yeah, they can peer into kids' dreams. Mouth. Very disturbing. The disturbing mouth.
It really is like David Lynch made a kids movie.
Yeah, it gets some really disturbing stuff for a kids movie, man. It's like a kids movie on acid.
Mexico, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those are both wonderful episodes. Really good. I wish I had thought of that myself. Those are two really good picks to get people in the show. They're such just goofy, bizarre movies with good riffing and very funny whole segments. Like we said before, these two have like the whole package going for them.
They really do. If you know someone who likes really offbeat Christmas movies, this is going to be perfect for them. And actually, they might have seen these before because around Christmas time, they tend to air on Turner Classic Movies.
Oh, so really? Oh, yeah.
If they might have seen them on Rift, and if they have, tell them to give these a shot. Especially Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, which is now in the public domain, and you can find it in like dollar stores, like around Christmas time. It is not hard to find. So I believe that is for our little jaunt into what is good for beginning MST3K. Any final thoughts?
Probably just one. I'm sure probably some people are surprised neither of us have mentioned Manos: The Hands of Fate. And for me, the reason is that while Manos is such a well-known milestone episode for the show, for me, it's not one I would subject someone to as their first episode because of just how bad and painful Manos is.
Showing someone Manos for the first episode is kind of like throwing them straight into the deep end.
Yeah, I've said to people, I feel the same way. It's like throwing someone in the deep end or putting someone through trial by fire and right off the bat. It's
they might swim, but you don't really want to risk it.
No, it's one you after you use like. If you have to use like stuff like Werewolf and Ega and or Santa Claus or Santa Claus Conquers Martians, then go to Manos, because now that they're comfortable with the show, they're better able to handle just the pain that Manos can inflict on somebody.
The deep hurting, if you will.
Yeah, like deep hurting, like in Hercules and the Moon Man. It's like that. Same thing goes with certain other episodes too that are like that. It's like. It's like both of them. I feel like Manos, while it's an essential one, and you eventually have to show it to them once they get into the show. It's one that you save for a little bit. Wait, prep them beforehand.
And of course, everyone's tastes are different. If you know someone who's really into spy movies, they might like Operation Kid Brother. As a first one, which I would also recommend.
Or if they like. Fantasy. I mean, the Hercules movies most of the Hercules movies are fun, and or any the Russo Finnish stuff.
Magic Sword is a good one for that.
Yeah,
it all varies on the person. So put some care into picking. Don't just like pick an episode, which I've seen some people do, and then they're surprised why their friends don't like it.
Yeah, it's like try to pick a movie that's to their tastes. It's like whether it's sci-fi, fantasy, or whatever.
They're really into kaiju. There's the Godzilla movies. There's Gamera. There's Gorgo. There's there's something for everyone in
Yeah.
MST3K.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why we love the show so much.
I think the only kind of film they didn't do was a courtroom drama. That's
Yeah,
pretty
really.
much it.
No, it's like if you think about it, it's like
They've done teen beach movies, they've done monster movies, spy movies,
it's horror,
70s revenge,
fantasy.
exploitation.
Oh yeah, the Tormented. It's like haunting. it's like it's like ghost movie.
Ed Wood, which is in its own genre
Yeah.
for badness. But yeah, actually no, they did sort of do a courtroom drama. I Accuse My Parents,
Yeah.
which I guess would kind of fall under that.
I guess.
But yeah, if you know someone who's into these kind of genre movies, find an MST3K episode where they did that genre movie. Overall, I think our lists are just very general.
Yeah.
But see what works. See what your friend likes.
Mm-hmm.
And on that note, I think it is time to wrap this up. So thank you, Justin, for joining me.
Always a pleasure.
It was a very fun episode. So thank you very much for listening. I'm Toby Milvius.
And I'm Justin Toner.
This has been the MSTieCast. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Now, poopy.